But I want to quickly say that one of the areas that Senator Sanders touched on in talking about education and certainly talking about health care is his commitment to really changing the systems. Free college, a single-payer system for health care. And it's been estimated we're looking at $18 to $20 trillion, about a 40% increase in the federal budget. And I have looked at his proposed plans for health care, for example, and it really does transfer every bit of our health care system, including private health care, to the states to have the states run. And I think we've got to be really thoughtful about how we're going to afford what we propose, which is why everything that I have proposed, I will tell you exactly how I'm going to pay for it, including college.
Can I respond to the critique on
Neil,
health care?
back to you, David. Thank you. We're going to get right into this, Senator, because I want to ask about taxes next.
My
this is
name
included.
Was just
she was asking about that.
But Secretary Clinton is wrong. As you know, because I know you know a lot about health care, you know that the United States per capita pays far and away more than any other country. And it is unfair simply to say how much more the program will cost without making sure that people know we are doing away with the cost of private insurance and that the middle class will be paying substantially less for health care under single payer than under Secretary Clinton's proposal.
Well, the only thing I can
Secretary Clinton, hold on one moment. Senator Sanders, I do want to ask.
Your proposals go and send the health care system to the states.
Clinton, please.
And my analysis is that you are going to have to get more taxes out of middle-class families. I'm the only person on this stage saying no middle-class tax raises. That is where we're going next. As far as I'm concerned.
We're going next to taxes here.
Now this is getting to be fun.
This is fun. This is democracy at work. And Secretary Clinton, let me ask you about your tax plan, because from the crushing cost of college education, the next question most families have is, will my taxes go up under the next president? You have said it's your goal not to raise taxes on families making under $250,000 a year, a goal. But can you say that's a promise as you stand here tonight?
That is a pledge that I'm making. I made it when I ran in 2008, yes. And it was the same one that President Obama made, because I don't think we should be imposing new big programs that are going to raise middle-class families' taxes. We just heard that most families haven't had a wage increase since 2001, since, the end of the last Clinton administration, when incomes did go up for everybody. And we've got to get back to where people can save money again, where they can invest in their families, and I don't think a middle-class tax should be part of anybody's plan right now.
Let me respond.
Secretary Clinton.
Let me respond to two ways. Number one, most important economic reality of today is that over the last 30 years, there has been a transfer of trillions of dollars from the middle class to the top 1/10% who have seen a doubling of the percentage of wealth that they own. Now, when Secretary Clinton says, I'm not going to raise taxes on the middle class, let me tell you what she is saying. She is disagreeing with FDR and Social Security, LBJ on Medicare, and with the vast majority of progressive Democrats in the House and the Senate who today are fighting to end the disgrace of the United States being the only major country on earth that doesn't provide paid family and medical leave. What the legislation is $1.61 a week. Now, you can say that's a tax on the middle class. It will provide 3 months paid family and medical leave for the working families of this country. I think, Secretary Clinton, $1.61 a week is a pretty good investment.
Senator, thank you. I'm going to bring in Governor O'Malley on this. And Governor O'Malley, let me ask.
For paid family leave for a very
Secretary
long time.
Clinton. David, thank you.
I have a way to pay for it that actually makes the wealthiest pay for it.
Then join us. Well, every progressive Democrat and senator is supportive of this proposal introduced by your good friend and my good friend, Kirsten Gillibrand, Rosa DeLauro. That is the legislation out there that will finally provide family and medical leave.
I want to bring in Governor O'Malley on this. We heard the promise there from Secretary Clinton because people want to know about their taxes. Will they go up? She has now promised here tonight not to raise them on families making $250,000 or less. Can you make that same promise if you're elected?
No, I've never made a promise like that. But unlike either of these two fine people, I've actually balanced the budget every single year. I was one of only 7 states that had a AAA bond rating. By the time I left, the average tax burden on Maryland families was the same as when I started. But I did pass a more progressive income tax and asked the highest earning people to pay another 14%. David, look, this is the big, I agree, by the way, that we should have paid family leave. And I agree with Senator Sanders on that. And just like Social Security, and unlike the Republicans, I think we should actually expand Social Security and increase average monthly benefits. But look, there's one big entitlement we can no longer afford as a country. And that is the entitlement that the super wealthy among us, those earning more than $1 million, feel that they're entitled to pay lower income tax rates and a far lower preferred income tax rate when it comes to capital gains. If we were to raise the marginal rate to 45% for people earning more than $1 million, and if we tax capital gains essentially the same we do earnings from hard work and sweat and toil, you could generate $800 billion over the next 10 years. And that would do so much good for affordable college, debt-free college, cutting youth unemployment in half, investing in our cities again. So the things I have done in office are the things that actually invest in growing our economy and making wages go up. That's the issue that we need to tackle as Americans, and we can do it, and we know how.
Governor O'Malley, thank you. A spirited debate on taxes, and we'll be much more with the Democratic debate in New Hampshire when we come back right here on ABC. More to more.